Hey there. We've got 9-7, the effects of pregnancy on Ma. And here are some lovely pictures of me in the Ma stage. That's Emily. Actually, both of those are Emily inside of me. Miss Ross painted Jack Skellington on my belly. Just thought you might like to laugh at that. So we've seen a little bit of what's going on with the baby. There's way more that goes on with the baby, but that would take a long time to go through it all. And besides, I don't want to, deny you the pleasure of researching all this stuff on your own for your project. So we're going to skip now to what pregnancy does to mom. And we're going to convince you even more not to have children. So the changes that mom goes through can be categorized by anatomical, physiological, metabolic, and so on. So we're going to take a look first at anatomical changes. So what's going on? First thing, you are increasing your blood volume to take care of the baby. And so what happens is that there's extra blood in various areas of your body. First of all, your uterus needs more blood, so it gets bigger. Your vagina gets bigger, thicker, we'll say, because of the extra blood, and then your breasts get bigger as well. And so that's even before the milk even shows up. It's just the extra blood flow causes them to puff up a cup size or two. And then we have hyperpigmentation. You get extra melanin deposits around your face, so you'll get like splotches all over your face. Your abdomen, there's a line that goes right down the middle of your belly due to pigment. It goes away. And then your nipples, the areola, the area around the nipples, gets really dark, which is kind of creepy. The uterus begins as the size of a pear, but it ends at the level of your xiphoid process. So if you remember, that's the bone at the bottom of your chest bone. So it ends right there. So it gets really big. It's about the size of a small watermelon. Your small intestine, your liver and stomach end up getting pushed up and out of the way. And what that does is it pushes on the diaphragm, which causes your chest cavity, which normally holds 2 lungs quite nicely, now barely holds lungs at all. So you're always out of breath because you cannot take a nice big full breath. So shortness of breath happens. Center of gravity moves, and so what ends up happening is your back. So say I'm looking that way. Your back, which is normally like this, now goes like this. And because you lean back to hold the weight in front of you, you lean back. And so that's called lordosis. It's like scoliosis, but instead of side to side, it's front to back. So you get tons of back aches. Then your body releases a chemical called relaxin. And what that does is it takes your pelvic ligaments and the symphysis pubis, which is what connects the two pubic bones in your front, to relax and stretch, and so they get pulled apart from each other. So your bones are really being torn from each other. It's not happy. Then your feet get bigger, so now you got to buy shoes a half size or full size bigger than normal, and you typically gain about 30 pounds. Now, of course, this all depends on where you were to begin with, your health level and things like that, but on average most women will gain about 30 pounds. So yeah, not nice. So here's an example. This is that line I was telling you about. It's called the linea nigra, which means black line. And so that's an idea of how the hyperpigmentation occurs. It'll eventually go away. This is showing you how, here's your uterus right here. And look you have tons of room for your stomach and your intestines and your liver. But once babies start to growing and pushing up, look at your small intestines are totally packed tight, even spread out over there. There's your stomach, a little smaller. Your liver gets squished, and so everything's pushing up on your diaphragm, which makes it a little difficult to breathe. And then down here, you've got some cartilage right here in between the two pubic bones. And so with the relaxin, they're going to start to push away from each other, which means back here, these joints start grinding on each other. So not only do you have hip or pain here, and then you have pain here in your lower back as well. Ouch. Metabolic changes. Your uterus will secrete a hormone called lactogen, and that's going to stimulate your breast to start preparing for milk production. And so what happens is that you start out with these glands inside in here, and those are the ducts leading to the outside. So they start to puff up, and there's more blood to the area, and so your boobs get huge. The mom metabolizes more lipids, leaving the glucose for the baby. So the mom actually loses weight a little bit because her body's starting to take care of all the fats that were previously stored inside of her and breaking those down for herself. So all the glucose that we would normally metabolize actually goes straight to the baby so they can get pure energy. They don't have to metabolize anything. It goes straight to their body as pure energy. And then we have another hormone called human chorionic thyrotropin. Thyro refers to the thyroid, and that's in charge of your metabolism. So this guy speeds up your metabolism so that way you just burn food quicker and faster. All right, physiological changes. The most horrendous one of them all, morning sickness. And the name morning is a bunch of crap. Morning, middle of the day, afternoon, nighttime, it doesn't matter. It's whenever it feels like it. So you get morning sickness. You get heartburn because of all that pushing on your stomach squishes things back up your esophagus. Constipation because the motility of your gut slows down, so things stay in you longer, which means you pull more water out of it, which means you get more constipated. Increased urine output because you're peeing for the baby and for you, and you're drinking more water. All the increased blood flow to your face makes your nose congested, so you can never breathe. You get nosebleeds due to the extra blood floating around in your face. Hyperventilation, you breathe faster because you're not getting enough air. Difficulty breathing, so lots of respiratory problems. And then we have your blood volume increases 25 to 40%. So remember, normally we're 5 to 6 liters. So, that's a lot you can increase. Your blood pressure rises, which can lead to a condition called preeclampsia, which is bad for both mom and baby, and it's when your blood pressure gets too high. Your cardiac output rises, so you become more athletic, and as you can see, why? But you can also get varicose veins, which is on your legs. You get these big veins popping out, and sometimes they go away, sometimes they don't. So my question for you is more of an opinion than anything. After seeing all the bad things that go on with mom's body, tell me, can you see anything good besides getting the baby out of this that happens with pregnancy? What are the benefits? Can you find any? So just a sentence or two, your opinion. So there's not an actual right answer. I just want to see what you say. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you tomorrow.